Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Sparks Wilson, and I am in Dr. Navarro's 1152 chemistry class. Today, we'll be talking about clouds. Okay, now when you first see clouds, you like to look at the color of the clouds. If it's dark, you know it's going to be rain, thunderstorm, or something of that nature. If it's light and bright, you know that the sun's probably going to come out, the cloud might go away, and no rain will come. But we never really think about why are the things like that, or why is the cloud so dark? Why is it that size? What makes it that way? We look at the location of the cloud, like, oh, that cloud's pretty far from us, so hopefully we won't get the rain anytime soon. Or we look at the location and say that rain shouldn't even come over here. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about clouds, why they look the way they look, what's a clean cloud, what's a dirty cloud. I want to talk about aerosol, what it is, why scientists are trying to prevent it so that we have a better climate and just a better atmosphere overall. And I just want to give you guys some fun facts so that you can look at clouds a little differently from this day forward. Okay, so aerosol. What is aerosol exactly? Aerosols are small particles that float around in the air and they're caused by dust or pollution. So you will never see it. You wouldn't notice it if you were just walking out and like, oh, there's a lot of aerosol out. No, that just wouldn't happen. So you have to be very knowledgeable about how to look at a cloud and tell if it has a lot of aerosol in it or not. Okay? So a clean cloud is a cloud that is composed of a lot of small particles, but they create large droplets, which makes them dark and translucent. So these are the big ones, the big dark ones that you see. Those clouds are actually clean. But when there's high concentration of aerosol, water condenses on the particles and creates a lot of small droplets. Clouds with high concentration are dense, reflective, and bright white, like this. You're probably thinking, what's wrong with bright white clouds? Doesn't that ensure us that there's no rain coming? Doesn't it look better? Well, it might look better now, but years from now, scientists predict that it'll have a very negative effect on our climate. What's another problem that aerosol affects? Clouds are meant to cool down the Earth's surface by shading 60% of the planet at any time and by increasing the reflectivity of the atmosphere. Now, 60% might seem like a lot now, but if we had little to no aerosol, that 60% could turn to 65%, and that will make up for the increase in the greenhouse gases. And as we all know, greenhouse gases are horrible for our climate, for our world, for our planet, for anything in any form, way, or fashion.
When regulating the Earth's temperature and climate, two forces treat the radiation coming from the sun in very different ways. One of the forces is greenhouse gases, produced naturally and by burning fossil fuels. The sun sends light through the atmosphere. Some of the light bounces back, but most of it goes through to the land and oceans. Once through, much of the light is absorbed and warms the Earth, then escapes back to space as heat. But some of that heat is absorbed again by greenhouse gases and warms the atmosphere. The more these gases accumulate in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped and the warmer the world becomes. That's global warming. Most aerosols have the opposite effect. Aerosols are tiny particles in the atmosphere. Some aerosols come from natural sources. Others come from industrial pollution. One thing aerosols don't come from is a spray can. Most of these tiny particles in the air reflect the sun's light back to space before it can make it through the atmosphere to our land and oceans. That creates a cooling effect, especially regionally, as less light reaches the surface to be absorbed. And that also means less heat to be trapped by greenhouse gases. At a glance, this might seem good, a way of keeping global warming in check. But aerosols affect more than temperatures. Scientists believe aerosols change weather patterns and reduce rainfall in some regions, although estimating the exact impact of aerosols on the climate is still tricky. Without a doubt, aerosols harm our health. An estimated 7 million premature deaths result each year from aerosol pollution. The best solution? Reduce both aerosol and greenhouse gas emissions for better human and planet health.
let's get into the scientists and researcher part. Why can't they just do the research? You know, it's 2017, technology is great. Why can't they just find out what's wrong, how to prevent it? And we can prevent greenhouse gases. We can prevent having to worry about white, bright clouds messing up the climate in the future. We can prevent a whole lot of things. Why is it so hard for them to figure it out? Well, I have the answer to that too. Scientists have difficulty understanding the formation of ice and its interactions with liquid droplets due to poor ability to measure the ice nucleating activity of aerosols and the ice forming process in clouds. Because you know, it's not like they can walk up to a cloud with a measuring stick and just, this is how much aerosol is in it, and this is how. No, you know, they can't do that. So they need explicit computer simulations at the scale of a whole cloud or multi-cloud systems. That requires a lot of hours, a lot of money, and some of the most powerful computers available. It's just not that easy yet. However, Science Daily and NASA say that researchers have been able to create good breaking simulations in which models were formed to present simplified schemes of cloud and aerosol interactions so that we can at least have an idea of how they work, how they interact, and how we can hopefully in the future get those computer systems that we need to move forward. All we really need is improved observational tests. The results from those tests could provide lower uncertainty in measuring human made climate forcing and better understanding and predictions of the future impact of aerosol on our weather and our climate. And that is all, folks. I hope from this day forward, you look into the clouds and you see something different. You don't just see a dark cloud, you see a clean cloud with little to no aerosol. Or you don't just see a bright white cloud, you see a bad cloud that has a lot of aerosol that needs help from scientists and researchers, like hopefully you one day. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, cloud writing might not seem like a cloud writing might not seem like a big deal now, but years from now, it will have a negative impact on our climate. When clouds, when clouds cool down the Earth by shading 60% of the planet at one time and by Dr. Navarro's 1152 chemistry class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And today we'll be talking about shades the planet and produces net cooling. Clouds are meant to cool down the Earth's surface by shading 60% of the planet out. Bright white. Doesn't that mean there's no rain coming? Well, bright white clouds block sunlight from reaching the Earth's surface, which shades the planet and produces net cooling, and how they negatively affect our climate. Aerosols are tiny particles that float in our air caused by dust or air pollution. But that's why I'm here to give you a little information. But that's why I'm here to give you a little information on clouds, aerosols, and how aerosols negatively affect our climate. Aerosols are tiny particles that float in the air caused by pollution or dust.